All right, let's talk about one of your body's most important but least known networks, the lymphatic system. You can think of it as a silent, tireless security force that's on duty 24/7, and we're going to pull back the curtain and see exactly how it keeps you safe.
Okay, you know that feeling at the airport? You're stuck in the security line, fumbling with your bags. It feels like a slow, chaotic mess. But you know it's all for safety, right? Well, believe it or not, that whole experience is a perfect analogy for something happening inside your body this very second.
See, your bloodstream is like the express lane on a highway. It's a high-pressure, high-speed system that gets things where they need to go, fast. But your lymphatic system? That's the security check. It's much slower, much more methodical, pulling fluid aside for a full inspection to make sure no bad guys get through.
So here's our game plan. First, we'll look at its role as that security line. Then we're going to uncover a huge daily leak that it has to deal with. After that, we'll trace its amazing one-way drainage network, meet the security guards at the checkpoints, and finally, really understand what's on the line if this system ever fails.
You know, the lymphatic system doesn't get the same kind of fame as the heart or the brain, but it's playing a massive supporting role for both your cardiovascular and your immune systems. It's always running this kind of background check on your body fluids. Really, it's both a plumber and a bodyguard.
So, why is it so essential? I mean, why do we even need this whole separate system? Well, it all comes down to a fundamental problem with how we're built. There's a constant, massive leak happening in every single part of your body.
Get this, every single day, your tiniest blood vessels, the capillaries, push out about 20 liters of plasma. That's a huge amount. It's how your cells get all the good stuff, like oxygen and nutrients. But here's the problem. Those same capillaries only manage to suck about 17 of those liters back in.
So you do the math. What happens to the other 3 liters? 3 liters! That's more than half the blood in your whole body. If that fluid just got left behind, pooling in your tissues, you'd be in very big trouble very fast.
This leftover, escaped fluid actually has a name. It's called interstitial fluid. And job number 1 for your lymphatic system is to collect every last drop. This is the plumber part of its job description. And to pull this off, your body has this absolutely ingenious one-way drainage network. It's perfectly designed to collect all that fluid, give it an inspection, and get it right back where it belongs. Let's see how it actually works.
The design here is just brilliant. The tiniest lymphatic vessels are made of cells that just loosely overlap, kind of like shingles on a roof. This creates these tiny one-way flaps, so when fluid pressure builds up outside, it pushes the flaps open and the fluid rushes in. But, and this is the genius part, they can't open from the inside. The fluid is trapped and it's only got one direction to go, forward.
The moment that fluid gets inside, it gets a new name, lymph. From there, it's on a one-way trip through a whole series of bigger and bigger vessels, almost like creeks flowing into rivers, until it's ultimately dumped safely back into your bloodstream right near your heart.
Okay, so that takes care of the plumbing. But remember, this system is also a bodyguard. As that lymph is traveling back, it doesn't just get a free pass. No way. It has to go through some really intense security checkpoints along the way.
And we're not talking about just a few checkpoints. Your body has somewhere between 600 and 700 of these little security stations, which we call lymph nodes. They're strategically placed all over to make sure they can monitor all the fluid coming back.
So who are the guards at these checkpoints? An elite force of immune cells called lymphocytes, T cells and B cells. They basically live inside the lymph nodes, and their whole job is to screen the lymph, looking for any bacteria, viruses, or even cancer cells that might be trying to sneak by. And this explains something you've probably experienced. Ever had a doctor feel the sides of your neck when you're sick? They're checking your lymph nodes. When they're swollen and tender, it's a surefire sign that your internal security team is in the middle of a big fight with an infection.
On top of the nodes, the system also has these special outposts at major entry points to the body. Your tonsils? They're basically the guards for your throat. You have things called Peyer's patches monitoring your intestines. Even your appendix, which is far from useless, is packed with this lymphoid tissue, standing guard to protect your gut.
So we've seen it's both a plumber and a bodyguard. But to really, truly appreciate how critical this system is, let's think about the stakes. What would happen if this unsung hero just decided to stop working?
Well, first, the plumbing would fail. All that extra fluid, those 3 liters a day, would have nowhere to go. It would just build up in your tissues, causing a really dangerous and painful kind of swelling called edema.
At the same time, your entire circulatory system would be in crisis. If you're losing 3 liters of fluid every day and not getting it back,
your total blood volume would just plummet, and that means your blood pressure would crash, which is catastrophic. Your vital organs wouldn't get any oxygen. And finally, the whole security system would be offline. Any germ that got into your body, even from a little paper cut, would suddenly have an open highway straight into your bloodstream. It could lead to widespread, life-threatening infections.
So when you add it all up, it's keeping your blood pressure stable, it's preventing swelling, and it's fighting infections all at once. It's easy to see why it really is the unsung hero of your anatomy. It's just working silently all day, every day, to keep you alive.
So the next time you feel one of those glands in your neck get a little swollen, just take a second to appreciate what's going on. It really is amazing, right? This one silent guardian is somehow managing to be both a meticulous plumber and a